Hi, I'm Daniel from EIM Technology, and today I'm going to get you started using the Zoolark. The Zoolark is an oscilloscope and function generator packaged into one device. It's perfect for anyone looking to work on electronics at any skill level. So first, let's open up the box and see what you get. First thing is a lot of cables. The first one is this USB-C to USB-A cable, which will allow you to plug the Zoolark into your computer. And then we get this 12-pin breakout, which will plug into the side of the Zoolark here and allow you to clip it to any of your electronics. It's here. And got the Zoolark itself and the instruction manual. And open up this, we'll find our Zoolark. So next, let's do an overview of how all the buttons work on the Zoolark and what you need to know to operate the device. So the first thing you want to know is how to turn it on, and it's just this button directly on the side here. Click that, you'll see the logo, and it'll turn on, and you'll be on the oscilloscope as the default. And to change which mode you're using, that's this button here, and you're going to click it, and you'll switch from the oscilloscope to being on the spectrum analyzer. Click it again, and you'll be on the function generator. Click again, you'll be in PWM, and then finally DC bias. And click again, you'll go back to the oscilloscope. That's what this button does all the time, no matter what you're doing. The second thing is this button, which will switch you between settings or things that you can adjust while you're on any given mode. And then you have this 3 toggle switch, which will allow you to either move left, move right, or change a value down, change a value up, depending on what mode you're in. And you can also click down on this, which has certain meanings in certain functions, which we will talk about. So starting off with the oscilloscope feature, you will notice that we have 2 channels. Channel 1 is the yellow signal you see on there, and channel 2 is the blue signal. And demonstrate, I'm going to take, I could use this full breakout wire, but because I'm just doing a simple thing with only 2 pins, I'm just going to use this female to female header. You connect 1 to channel 1. You can tell which pin is which from this diagram on the front of the Zoolark. And the second pin I'm going to plug into plus 5 volts. And the moment you do that, you'll notice the yellow channel 1 signal pop right up to the top of the screen at 5 volts. And that's because this is set to 1 volt per division, and it's 5 volts, 5 divisions from the top to the middle. So that might not be yet easy to read. So if you want to change the resolution, change the volt per division, you can click on this selection key, and you notice it highlights the part that says 1 volt. And now you can use your toggle switch to up it to 2 volts. And now the yellow line won't be as far up. Or you can even change it to 5 volts, and now it's only 1 division above because it's a 5 volt signal. Next, if we hit our mode button twice, we can get to our function generator. So we have a lot of options here. First, you can see we have the waveform type itself. We have sawtooth, or square, or sine wave. And from there, we can also change the amplitude, frequency, and the DC offset. And so as an example, I'm going to choose sine wave with a 2 volt amplitude, 1 kilohertz frequency, which is all just the defaults here. And I'm going to take that, and I'm going to plug the wave output pin right there. So this is the third one down on the left, and I'm going to plug that into my channel 1 for my oscilloscope. So then I click through the modes until I'm back on the oscilloscope, and you can see we have a very small sine wave. Right now it's really small. I'm going to have to go back and change the volt per volt again, and if I change it to 1 volt, we will actually see the reasonable output on the oscilloscope. Additionally, you can click this selection button again, and we'll change it over to the frequency, and we can change that. Let's put it to 200 microseconds, and now we see a lot more of the wave. Another feature is you can output a square wave or a PWM signal, and you have a couple of options here. It's going to be a 3.3 volt amplitude, but you can change the frequency and you can change the duty cycle. And so if we choose, say, 10K and 50%, which is the default, and we plug it into the PWM pin instead of the waveform generator. Now we go back to our oscilloscope. You'll see that we get a nice square wave with 50% duty cycle. Now if we want to change that, we can go back to our PWM signal and use this selection key to go down until we get to the duty cycle. And now we can use our toggle switch to increase it to, say, 70%. When we go back to our oscilloscope, you'll see that we have a 70% duty cycle now. And you can get a little more precise in this. You can go down to the each 5%. And the way to do that is you go back, and when you get here, you want to go down to your duty cycle. And now if you click down on the 3-way toggle switch, you'll switch it so that you're in the next place column. And now we can make it say 75% by just clicking it one to the right. Now when we go back to our oscilloscope, we're 75% duty cycle. Another option you have, if you're doing anything where you need to see details and the screen is too small, specifically on the oscilloscope or the spectrum analyzer, you can plug your Zoolark into your computer and use the software we have called Zookee to blow it up on a larger screen. So you can use your manual or go to our website and find how to install the software. And once you have it, it looks like this. And all you have to do is plug USB into your computer and this USB-C port into the Zoolark and turn the device on. And now all you have to do is press this refresh key up in the top left, and you'll see this field auto-populates. When it says column 3, your device may see something different, but then you just want to click this button next to it, which is the link key. And then once you do that, you press run, you should see the same slightly noisy signals with your 2 channels from your oscilloscope. And then to show, you can do the same experiments and we'll get the output on the screen. So if I plug this one into the first channel and I plug it into our wave output, you'll see we get the same thing on the oscilloscope and we get the same thing on our screen here. And another one we can do is, say I do channel 2 and I plug it into our PWM output, we'll get the frequency is way too high, but we go back to our PWM and we change it to be roughly the same, which was 1 kilohertz. And we go, it doesn't update till you go back to the oscilloscope. And now let's go to the oscilloscope. We'll see we get our nice sine wave and we get our nice PWM wave. Finally, when the battery is getting low on your Zoolark, you can charge it. One way is to plug it into the computer, the same way we did just for displaying it on the screen, or just plug this cable into any wall adapter that uses USB-A.